Okay. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us this week. Very happy to have you here. Why don't you kick this things off by telling us about Ezo and like what do you think sets you apart from other like fiat to crypto or to
And
embrace the mistake to crypto?
and
What
before
sort of
before
thing?
y- before you start, guys, Matthew, would you mind? Your sound is fine, but I don't think you're speaking into the microphone. I think you're speaking into your webcam or something. Can you just
Oh,
double
you're
check?
right.
Yeah, I was
Yeah, it
trying to
keeps
make sure.
defaulting to the webcam.
There you go. All right, guys, that's all. I've done my job. Adios.
Sorry about that.
Yes, sorry, I was I was muted. So yes, we founded Ezo about 4 years ago, and let me give you a bit of background on myself first, since I'm the founder. So I got into crypto around 2017 from mining, and back in the day, these were the good day, and back then there wasn't really any shake pay company going around. So whenever you had a lot of crypto to sell, it was always a pain. If there's some OG here, you guys will remember Quadriga. I don't know if people remember that.
Oh,
Do you
yeah, I
guys?
forgot about that one.
Yeah, and Quadriga it was what it was, if you know what I mean. It was good, it was
I
bad,
still don't.
but yeah. And back then, trading crypto was almost like impossible. You had to do peer to peer trade, and it was super complicated. You had to deal with cash. You had to deposit a lot of cash, and thing kind of got going, ShakePay existed and stuff like that. And it was always in the back of my mind that it could be done better. And about 4 years ago, I just decided, okay, nobody has done it really how I think it should be done from like a consumer perspective wise, and we just decided to do it. So when you tell me, let's say what set us apart from other company, I would say that we have two unique thing. First of all, we don't use the spread model. For me, consumers should pay the same price whether they buy or sell, because technically an asset is very, very, very close to be worth the same price whether you buy or sell, like on very liquid asset. And the fee model that we have is pretty unique. So if people have done a lot of trading, you know that most exchange you get like a 30-day rolling fee. The more volume you do, the lower it goes. It runs on 30 day and resets every day. Whereas our fee model, all the volume you do forever stacks. So think about the same model that exchange use, but you never reset after 30 days. So the more you do, whether it's buy or sell, trade, whatever, it goes down over time. So for us, it's very interesting because the consumer gets a lot of value being with us over the long term. And it's way more, the fact that we don't have spread is way more easier for them to understand because they're paying the same price whether they buy or sell with a good fee models. So far, we've been receiving a pretty good market feedback on that.
See, that's kind of interesting because I've obviously not been putting a lot of money in lately, but when I do, I've often found that like different exchanges make money in different ways, and I have to use that to my advantage as a consumer. So I won't name any competitors, but like one exchange I know has a pretty high withdrawal fee, if I like $50 to $60, if I'm being honest, um, which is not great, but their spread is not that big. So if I'm buying lots, then I just will eat the withdrawal fee because I'll buy more in crypto. But if I'm gonna buy like $100 worth of crypto, then it's obviously better to take the worst spread and with the lower exchange fee. So it sounds like I don't have to, or consumers don't really have to play that game with you guys.
Yeah, for us, our vision is that you pay the withdrawal fee that the network costs. We don't make money on that. Doesn't matter to us.
Yeah, that's
I-
perfect. That's
I'm
perfect.
pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I know what exchange you're talking about.
Yeah, there's a few because like I'll do different kinds. And Yeah, so it's kind of tiring. And I think one of them closed down, so I'm trying to like find another one that has like lower withdrawal fees.
Well,
But
you can
anyways, yeah,
you
it's
can talk with us. You can talk with us if you want.
oh, of course. Of course. Once things settle down and I'm not losing thousands of dollars, not thousands, but hundreds by the minute, I should say. So a big thing that you've talked to me about is this self-service app that you are launching. So why don't you get more into detail about that?
Yeah, so our concept with the self-service app is that most like other apps is really a consumer with himself experience. So they buy by themselves, they sell by themselves. But we also have a bunch of automated feature. Let's say down the line you set up your account, whether CAD hits your account, it goes directly in the crypto of your choice to your wallet. Whether you send crypto to a specific address, boom, you get the interact wire in your bank account and stuff like that. So the concept of the self-service app is really, as a whole, purely one-on-one consumer with himself experience. When we get into other product that we're going to develop, this is more pertinent versus like crypto, because we're not the only one doing this. Like instant, this is what we call instant delivery, which means, like, let's say, okay, you want to buy an asset. The second you trade the CAD into, or any other fiat into the asset, we send it to you directly. And whether you're selling, as soon as we get the asset, we're converting it to CAD, and then you can choose when to withdraw.
Sorry, I think I cut off about here. Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
it was kind of quiet. Yeah, I hear you now.
Okay.
Is our guest here?
So yeah, I might have.
Yo, Ezo people?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Sorry, I think you cut off at the last bit of that, or at least for me, you did. Do you mind repeating
Yeah, for me as
that
well.
last
Yep.
like 15 seconds?
Yeah. Yeah. Down the line, the concept of the self-service app is really to give the consumer as much as an automated process for their daily activity in crypto. Because you see, for most of us, we always do the same thing. Here, we always do CAD to USDC, then we go trade that USDC somewhere. It's more about on-ramp, off-ramp for us as the most efficient cost. So the goal of the self-service app is really to get the consumer in a position where he can do all of this stuff with like only one click, no matter the side.
And that's really cool. And does the super wallet play into that?
Yeah, the word super wallet is mostly for other services, because we at Ezo we don't only do crypto. Our goal is to create like kind of a all-in-one financial app where you can think about like Revolut, for example, Robinhood. But our focus for that is mostly developing nation, where you can think about people have phone, but they don't necessarily have computer. They may or may not have a bank account. They may or may not have internet. So the concept of the super wallet is to say you can use and carry your Ezo wallet, which means on a phone, a key tag, but you can also manage and interact with on a phone, on a computer. So let's say you don't have a phone, we give you a key tag. You can take that key tag, tap it on the back of your friend's phone, interact with your account. So you don't necessarily need to have a phone to own crypto or interact with crypto or traditional financial services. So this is kind of where the super wallet word comes from, I would say.
Sorry about that. But yeah, I think it sounds like it'd be a great tool to try to onboard people who don't really like understand it, because I've always been critical of the current wallet situation with cryptos, right? Like a few months ago, a close friend of mine, he wanted to try it, and we were setting up a wallet for him, and we were at the seed phrase part, and he was writing down the seed phrase, and I had to proofread it. I'm like, there's a spelling mistake. And he's like, oh, it's fine. I'm like, nope, it's not. Like, you got to change it, because if you do the spelling mistake, it won't go in. And then he put capital letters for some of it. I'm like, no, it's got to be lowercase. He's like, what's the difference? It's like, it's a whole thing. And we're used to it, right? But for people who are not in this at all, it's awful.
Oh yeah, definitely. And we're actually working on something for this down the line. I won't talk too much about it today, but I think, yeah, the I call this the 20 word 24 word barrier to entry, because most of the people on planet Earth, they're never gonna understand this efficiently. They're gonna lose it, and they won't understand that if you lose this, then you're done. You know, it's mathematically done, and this is by far, I think, amongst very difficult UI to use, the biggest barrier to entry for crypto to people.
Yeah, and I'll keep an eye on for that because maybe I need to, once it's ready, I'll send the link over to my friend to be like, you can do this now. Because to be honest, he's not doing it. I don't know if that was the reason, but that was his first interaction with crypto, and he has since not been involved. But so like, but let's say I do bring myself. Let's not bring my friend back into this. Let's just do myself. I have $200. How can I like onboard that with you guys?
Yeah, so right now we're running the OTC desk only in Canada. We're gonna release the quote unquote self-service app in about a month. And if you onboard yourself with our OTC desk, it's very, very fast. You see, me back in the day, like I told you, there wasn't a lot of product to be used, where it was P2P, there was a few OTC desk. And even today, I think OTC desk experience for consumer is very, very, it's not good. It's complicated. It's not efficient. It's hard to reach people. You see, of most of the good comments that we get over time is always that it's so easy to reach you guys. Like it's just so easy. So for us to onboard, let's say you're a consumer client, not buying with a company, I can say you can do your onboarding within 3-5 minutes maximum. If you're a crypto pro and you're used to it, I would say close to 2-3. And if you're a grandma, I would say maybe 5-10 minutes. So we really build it as the most efficient flow possible. So right now, if you want to sign up and do the onboarding process, you go to our website. You have many different ways you can choose to get onboarded. And down the line, when the app is released, then you just follow traditional app onboarding. And for B2B, I would say a bit more time expensive. So B2B for business, business onboarding is always more compliance check, but we manage usually between 10 and 15 minutes to get them onboarded. So it's pretty good in my opinion, way better than other competitor.
Yeah, I was a little shocked when you're talking about how complicated it was. I was expecting this to be like a long meeting, and now you're telling me 10 to 15 minutes. It's pretty good.
Yeah, we know what we're doing and we have optimized the process. I mean, as much as possible, especially with a bunch of consumer feedback. And when you actually listen to your consumer, you'd be surprised how better you can get your product. So.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's time is money, and it's best for everyone involved to do as quickly as possible. But if I had a business and I was doing a crypto, opening up like a crypto account, I would expect the process to be longer than that. So that's pretty good. I have to give you props there.
Yeah, especially when you look at days like the last week where it's crashing so fast and a lot of people want to buy in, and you have most OTC desks that are gonna make your life difficult for 3-4 days, then time is of the essence. So that's why I would say we have a bunch of big tickets client, I would say, that come to us especially for that because it's very fast, efficient, boom, 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 it's done. And when the client is happy, the client come back. So
I'm just curious. You might not know this because I'm throwing this on the spot here. Like, do you find the businesses are more concerned about like Bitcoin or stable coins?
I would say that's a pretty good question. I would say it's a bunch of everything because it really depends. Sometimes you have a bunch. I would say we see it all. So I would say it's equally equal. A lot of people, if you take traders, they're always gonna buy stablecoin. If you take like other like I would say on ramp off ramp partner ish, they're definitely looking for stablecoin and not Bitcoin Ethereum. If you look at newcomer, they're gonna most likely look at BTC Ethereum. I would say the three main asset that people are looking for is really, really down the line Bitcoin, Ethereum. And if I have to skip the stablecoin, I would say maybe Solana or XRP, but BTC ETH is really the two big ask, I would say. And for selling side, I would say basically the same.
All right, because I'm curious because like I've been in Argentina for a bit and they're big into crypto, but mostly on the stable coin aspect. The diehards, they love Bitcoin, but most people get involved with it just because there's the peso is doing so poorly and there's huge restrictions on buying dollars. So stable coins are sort of an alternative for them. And many don't touch Bitcoin. They just want the stable coin on the Tron network, if you could believe that.
Yeah. Yeah, and Tron Network, if you've been using it like, let's say 3, 4 years ago, it was very efficient, very fast, very cost effective. But now, if you really look at the cost of transaction, it's pretty expensive. Like when you look at other networks like Base or even Ethereum today, it's way cheaper, way faster. Polygon, like Tron is expensive to use, in my opinion.
I haven't used it, and this was a year and a half ago, which in crypto terms is like 20 years.
Yeah.
But so maybe it's different. But yeah, I'm finding the first real world use case for many countries, especially with a very unstable currency. We love to crap on our dollar here, but to be honest, it's not the greatest currency. But I don't think it's going to be like, what is it, 74? Seven, I can't remember. 74, whatever. It's not going to be like 5 cents less tomorrow,
No.
and it's not going to be half what it's worth. It's not going to be half what it's worth in 6 months. But for many countries, that is a reality. But they're baby steps, right? They move to this tether first, and then maybe they can get onto the Bitcoin. Sorry, I
Yeah.
went on and off.
Yeah, but most of
Uh,
them definitely, like we've seen. I can give you a bit of insight because we've done a lot of research and talk with a lot of people. I think the narrative of developing nation wants Bitcoin is a bit of BS in my opinion. But developing nation wanting stablecoin is really really real, way more than people think. Because like you said, it's an edge against their own currency inflation. They control the money. They have it in their own wallet. It's liquid. It's movable. There's no restriction around it ish. But having Bitcoin, like nobody's paying for food with Bitcoin. I don't like me. This is one of the things I have the most problem with. Like who would do that? Who would wait 15 an hour for transaction to settle at the supermarket? Nobody.
Yeah, and I actually, you say no one's like buying food with Bitcoin. I remember just walking around with some people with some quote unquote crypto bros, and they kept trying to find a restaurant that took crypto in Argentina, and I was like, after the second time of the restaurant saying no, I abandoned them. And apparently they kept going for like 2 hours, and I was like, dude, I'm hungry. I'm gonna like come on, you can like crypto, but like don't make the abuela selling empanadas on the street take your Bitcoin. All right, just buy it with what she wants.
But you see, that's where other product that we're gonna develop is interesting because you could live your life in crypto, but pay whenever, wherever, without thinking about it. Like you could use your Bitcoin to pay the NCLI and peso, whatever. We can do the not the bridge, but like the connection between your crypto and their current fiat.
Yeah, and I think that's especially like useful for traveling, especially if you're not going to the United States. It'd just be easier to not have a bunch of foreign currency. Whenever I go and I exchange a bunch of money and I have like $50 left the day before I go, I'm just like, I gotta spend this because it's worthless.
Yeah, and when you really think about it, if you think about this, but on a like universe level, I think about like the small change that people bring back from holidays that they never spend. And if you really scale that up to people, to like the earth, whew, I think there's a lot of foreign currencies sleeping in drawers at a lot of places that's doing nothing. So
Yeah, exactly. And another thing I want to add, a lot of these poor countries, the banks have way more control than they do here. Um, for instance, what's still in the mind of many Argentinians is that in the late 90s, they automatically converted all US dollars in individual bank accounts to pesos against their will. So I don't even know what would happen if they tried to do that here. But so it's these countries that have such horrible banking rules. They're the ones that are leading the forefront. Sorry, thank you for indulging me on that. We kind of went on an off-topic rant. Sorry about that, but thank you for that at the same time.
yeah, no problem.
I did notice on your website you have quite a few other services. Do you want to get more into detail about that? Are there some that you are more
Yeah, sure.
popular than others?
Yeah, so like I told you, our goal was really to create like the ideal one-on-one app, which to me and to us is really about like this three thing you do in life. You spend money, you make money, you invest money. So like think about like the first product that we have is called Ezo Swap. So it's currency converter. So whether it's fiat to crypto, crypto to fiat, fiat to fiat, fiat to crypto, doesn't matter, X and to Y. Then you get the paying product, which would be like I told you, you are being able to pay with whatever you have in your account, doesn't matter. You'll be able to spend it at point of sales. You'll be able to make cross-border payments, local payment, get the digital card. Like for you and me, it's very easy to get these. We are used to this. We are not impressed by having a digital card in our Apple phone. But for a lot of people on planet Earth that have the same phone as you and me, you show them a digital card and they're like, wow, where did you get this? So paying product, especially for them. And then you have the two product that we call Ezo Earn, which is going to be the last one on the line. And the concept of Ezo Earn is very simple. Think about what Wealthsimple is doing, but tokenized, non-tokenized. So just one place where you have all your life financial payment product, saving product, trading product, and you can use it all around the world. So this is really the goal of what we're doing, both for consumer like you and me, both for businesses, the specific services that bank have contacted us saying they're interested in using this and developing nation. Like we don't care about a bunch of stuff, but we are interested in tapping in a cross-border payment network, etc.
Wow, it's incredible. So yeah, you're definitely not a one-trick pony, I would say.
Well, kinda, I guess, but like in a multiple one-trick pony, I guess.
Yeah, multi-trick pony. I don't know pony tricks, so I'm gonna abandon the analogy before I get too confusing. But yeah, this is like all good stuff. But is there anything else about Ezo that like we haven't talked about that you want to get more into?
But I would be curious to hear you guys say like what product you use in Canada, what do you don't like, what would be your ideal crypto experience, stuff like that, whether it's from wallet to trading to anything crypto related. So it's more about what you have to say.
So for me, I guess the big part is like I said, I kind of have my own game with I try to spend as less on fees as possible, and I use different exchanges depending on the amount or what my intention is with that. Um, so I would like to not have to do that. I would like to just have a one exchange where I can just onboard my money. I do like like I said, I would like a way to spend money abroad. Not that I wouldn't want to spend crypto here. It just for me, it'd be more of an incentive to have a card that deals with that rather than have to constantly exchange and pay high fees for the exchange. Just to give you an idea, when I lived in Colombia for like 6 months, I paid very little money in rent, but I paid about $20 a month in fees to pay that rent. And you know, $20 is not, life or death, but $20 is $20, So I'd like something to make foreign spending easier. And this I would do with my godson. He's in Bolivia, and I send some money for like birthday, Christmas, and I would onboard just to send stable coins to a system that his sister uses that in my opinion is not great, but she didn't even know it was crypto. They use stable coins. And they yeah, something to make it easier for me to send money abroad. Yeah, those are probably things on my list. I don't know if that's on your radar or not, but that's just something
Oh
that I
yeah,
wanted to.
100%. I like hearing this.
Yeah, so the fact that I'm using a really terrible or my godson's sister is using a terrible offboarding system for crypto, um, like it's an international service, just something to help her out, just so I don't have to use it, because that's the only reason why I'm using their terrible service. Um, like I couldn't just in theory, I could just send her the crypto directly, but she doesn't know how to do that.
Yeah, you see, that's one of the thing I really think the industry is missing on is that okay, it's cool to send crypto to developing nation, but then what? How do they off ramp it? How do they use it? Like, is the off ramping cost higher than sending traditional like MoneyGram transfer? A lot of people don't think about that.
Well, what's funny is so in Bolivia they have their own currency crisis right now, and they pretty much blocked dollar purchasing. And so I would say twice a month, because that was the most she was allowed to do it. You weren't allowed to buy dollars as a Bolivian, but you could buy dollars to send abroad. And she would send me $200, and I would send the crypto back to her. I would send it back to her with crypto, and this whole process would cost like $40. So that's a huge chunk in fees.
Yeah.
But she would then sell the crypto on the black market for double what it was worth. So like on the black market, dollars are going for double the exchange rate. So for what, look it up now, whatever it is on whatever it says on your computer screen, you can get it for double of the local currency. And so like that's how, but she was still paying like $40 a month in fees. And for in Bolivia, minimum wage I think is like $400. So that's a lot of money. $40 goes a long way there. So imagine if I was able to help her even more just by, I don't know, half the fees, that would go a long way for her.
Yeah, especially without needing to do the back and forth. No?
When the back and forth was just a loophole that she was taking advantage of, that I don't think anybody, it's been closed because she wasn't the only one doing that, and they realized what was going on, so they blocked that off. It's not really a democracy, Bolivia. In case people are wondering how the government can do this, they have a lot more power and they can do things quicker. I felt like I just endorsed the dictatorship. I'm not. I'm just stating what's going on. But yeah, that's my little story, and something to help her out. That would be great. Something to help people sending money abroad. And while people aren't sending the money abroad to flip the currency, I know a lot of people who are sending money back home. So something to help them out, I guess. I know a lot of people who want to be rich just so they can send 90% of the money they make to their family. So they need help doing that.
Very interesting. And I'm glad to hear you say that because that's exactly what we think also. So.
Okay, perfect. Somebody's wants to ask a question, I think. Do you mind taking a question?
Oh, with pleasure.
Okay. Asking for Bitcoin. I brought you on as a speaker if you want to ask a question.
Yo, what's up, boys? Dude, it sounds like your problem's fucking. You need XRP, bro.
I'm not gonna get into it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get into. I'm not gonna get into that.
I mean, you're talking, bro. But it sounds like you need XRP, man.
Yeah, but have you ever seen people use XRP in developing nation? Because I haven't.
Well, yeah, man. The whole system's getting built up right now, so it is what it is. Everything's moving towards tokenization, man. Cross-border payments. You need somebody with like backing of like a virtual central bank, man. I'm telling you, the way the world works, you're gonna need a company like Ripple that's gonna do it.
Okay, but
one, I just want to point out that you have a name called Asking for Bitcoin, and you're talking about XRP, which I find I was not expecting that. I just find that funny.
No, it's all good, man. I'll take whatever I can get. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I guess I thought you were Bitcoin Maxi. But do you have like a question related to the Ezo product?
Oh,
just
no,
to keep
man.
things on topic.
No, definitely.
No, but I can give you an insight on that things because I have one of my team member is a XRP a big believer, let's say.
Well,
and
I'm just gonna say it. XRP literally solves this guy's problem. Like, I don't know.
Okay, but what do you say about just basic stablecoins solves it as well? What do I need XRP to move stablecoin?
I think everybody's going to need some sort of stable coin, but I think there's going to be some sort of generic staple. Like you got to watch the USA, like whatever the USA stables at like stakes as like the stable coin they're going to use. That's going to be the one that's going to go around the world because they're not going to lose their quote unquote dollar dominance. You know what I mean? There's no way the United States of America just forms away from the dollar and then just goes to straight crypto without having some sort of like stable coin that they're going to back. You know what I mean? And then however the USA goes is how the world goes.
Yeah, but how do you look at USDC right now then?
USDC, bro, like I think that's all trash, bro. I'll be honest. I think anything that's like it's not like government backed and just came from a random company because you got to think about this. Like the United States is not going to back somebody from like China. They're not going to back somebody from, you know what I mean? That's not in their own wheelhouse. And like they're the driving force of this, man. Like that's the thing. The United States goes how the world goes. They're not going to back some random company. They're not going to back some random, currency that's not going to help themselves. They're going to go with something that they can stake themselves and that they think's legitimate. They're not going to make some random guy rich. The United States is getting rich, and they're going to hold the cards, not somebody else.
Interesting opinion. But again, what do you need Ripple for that?
Oh, you just need Ripple because they're a legitimate bank and they already have tie-in with the central banks already. So they already have the infrastructure, and then they already have the. That's the big thing. You got to think about this from a political perspective. Like they're not. The United States is not going to let go of the U.S. dollar, and they go, "Oh fuck, we're going to go Bitcoin." Blah, blah, blah. Not a chance, man. They're going to go with something that they can trust, they know, and then something that they can get that has access to the banks already. That's already in a financial structure. They're not going to go with some random outside source and say, "Here you go, boys." Like, do you think the United States is giving up power? Not a chance.
This one I agree. This one I will agree too. But what if they do it themselves then?
I honestly, I think the play is just listening to Howard Lutnick and what he was saying maybe about 2 or 3 months into the administration, talking about getting gifted. There's like a way to do it where the Treasury can take on the Treasury can take in the like XR that's not, so then the Treasury takes over. I think we're watching like the end of the Fed as well.
Mm.
I mean, I think for me, like we could debate all day on which is the best thing, but regardless whether it's XRP, USDC, Bitcoin, we still need the supporting infrastructure like Ezo to make sure this happens, right?
Oh, I think so, but I don't think it's some infrastructure that's like that doesn't already have legitimate tie-in with banks. Because you got to think like me, you, everybody else in this group's like, yeah, man, we're not crypto, like we're doing our thing. But you got to think 99% of the world's not. And if you're gonna make a huge change to that, you already have to make it similar to the infrastructure that's available, so the everyday person can have access to it. I just don't think it goes so outside the box where it's like, all right, we're gonna use this blockchain, we're gonna use this, we're gonna use USDC, we're gonna use blah blah blah. Like I just do not see it happening.
Yeah, to
I
me,
mean,
I
I don't know
think
how long.
it's all about giving the consumer an app. They want to do whatever, perfect. How we move the money in the background doesn't matter. If we have to talk with the traditional system, if the traditional system has to talk with us, that is not the consumer problem. They have a balance. They want to do whatever. We handle the flow. That's how we see it.
Yeah.
Whatever we want.
Yeah, and I don't know how long you were listening in with this, but like it does seem like they are trying to accommodate people who aren't really focused. Some people, at least, who aren't really focused on the crypto side, where people can spend their crypto and the receiving end does not get the crypto, right? like I was saying, like in Argentina, they're more, uh, you know, just because they're big into crypto doesn't mean the abuela selling empanadas on the street is going to take your Bitcoin.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, look at right now, we're seeing a complete restructure of how the global trade is done. You know what I mean? And as we're moving, like, the United States is moving way more towards Western Hemisphere, getting away from supply chains that are outside China. So I think they're looking at things that are like, you know, they're looking at things in a way that they're going to shift trade, but we're still going to be in a way that's, um you're still gonna be able to move goods, but you have to be able to do it in a way that's efficient and fast. And like, even if you like literally go back and listen to on All In podcast, I think it's like 3 weeks in, um Howard Lutnick talks about like blockchain technology and then going into quantum cryptography. Like, you have to have something that's fast, efficient, but already has the infrastructure and then already is attached to global trade. I don't think you can get into something like that on, I don't know. I just don't see it because the only way the United States will do it is that if they're in control, and there's got to be quote unquote some sort of central bank. I don't think it gets quote unquote super decentralized, if that makes sense.
Yeah, we have an interesting point, but like I said, I think we still have to focus on companies like Ezo trying to make sure that whatever's being used, that the people
Bro, you're
can.
talking about a random company, man. I'm talking about the United States of America, bro. The United States of
I'm
America
talking
is
about
not going all in on
with
fucking
all,
Enzo.
okay,
Dude.
with all due respect, I'm talking about that random company is the guest of this space.
Oh shit, man. I'm sorry, dude. I mean,
No,
yeah,
but
I mean,
it's okay.
good luck,
It's
dude.
no, but it's
Like,
okay, and it's okay. It's okay. Like everybody can have their own opinion, and you see, I like to hear that and get challenged on this. And actually, when people said that to us at first, I really had to dig into how does the money move
dude,
actually in the world, and when you really
your
get to
relationship? Like, what are your
no, but
relationships? Like, who do you know? Like, what are you? Who are you? Like, what are your relationships with? Like, based out of Canada, right? Like, what are your relationships with the liberal government of Canada? Like, do you know Mark Carney?
Okay, no, we're not getting into that right now.
no,
I'm
no,
sorry, but
Matthew,
Well,
Matthew,
that's what I mean,
I
dude.
can't. No, no, but
Dude, if you've ever been in business, man, you gotta have some sort of relationship to move forward. Like, if you have no relationship with Mark Carney, and then you're all gonna be like, man, we're gonna do this, do that. Like, dude, how are you gonna do that, bro? The top player, the guy who makes decisions, doesn't even know who you are.
well, you see, last year we went to the biggest event in Canada for payment. We met with the
Yeah,
government.
great,
We
bro.
met with the
Like I could buy tickets too, man.
sure. All right. Yes, 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 you can do that. But you see, we sat down with the central bank governor of Canada. We're able to talk with people making the regulation for these crypto stablecoin coming
Okay,
up.
what did you get out of that, man? I talk with you right now, man.
But there's
Am I in? Am I a shareholder now because I talked to you?
what?
yeah, I'm
Well, that's
lost
what I
here,
mean.
man.
You're just like,
You're
well, I
kind of
talked to this guy.
okay.
Well, no, you're like, I talked to this guy, I talked to that guy. Like, dude, am I a
Okay.
shareholder in your company now just because I
Okay,
talked to you?
at this point,
Do
can
I
you
have a
make your
stake in?
points? You're kind of rambling, so make your final point, and then we'll move on with the space.
Yeah, my final point is, it sounded like your cousin in Zimbabwe was poor, dude, and you guys got no shot.
Yo, all right, bro. Moving
Yeah,
on.
sure, sure. No, it's okay. It's okay. It's
It's
okay.
it's
It's
the
okay.
dude
It's,
with
there's
2 followers, bro. He has 2
no,
followers
no.
in minutes. Just move
It's
on.
okay.
It's
No, no, but it's
waste
okay.
time.
It's
Yeah.
okay. It's okay. It's okay. And you see, it's okay. We've done our homework. You see, in Africa, we're able to meet with government, central bank governor. We're able to talk with them, see how something like this that the Bitcoin guy is saying, because what he's saying is going to exist down the line, like 100%. Somebody is going to do it at some point. The specific region where maybe it's going to be more segmented than others. If you look at Western Africa, they have a currency that's been pegged against the euro for the last 15 years, like the Central France CFA. This currency is always going to exist. Now it's all about, do you tokenize it? If the currency is pegged against the euro, perfect. Do you tokenize the euro stablecoin to peg it against it, then move it fast? Then you talk with the central bank in Europe. And you see that last year we talked with the people in Canada. You have the Pema Canada infrastructure, who are kind of the people who talk with the banks about defining new rule, new regulation. This year, there's an initiative by Banque Nationale, ShickPay, and a bunch of LP to make a first Canadian crypto stablecoin that's accessible to the public, even though there was a few before, like a new true crypto stablecoin. So yes, definitely. And I can tell you, we are talking with these people. There's a lot of stuff moving in the background. The problem with Canada has always been that we talk a lot, but it's very slow moving because the key decision maker people don't necessarily understand, or like they don't really, maybe they do, maybe they don't want it to move. But I can tell you that there's a new wave of opening, and I tell you that not of an ID, but out of a meeting I had with these people. Like I just cannot tell you because we're under NDA for a bunch of stuff, but there's a lot of things coming up. I hope Canada will be the first to do it before US, like you said. But I don't agree with a bunch of stuff you said, but I do agree that down the line, it would be nice to have a universal stablecoin done by the US government. But I just don't see how they're going to disrupt Tether and like USDC. USDC is a way bigger machine than people realize. They are a massive bond holder of US Treasuries. Same for USDT. If USDT say perfect, we're selling all of our USD bond, the government is going to be no. So you cannot just disrupt this player. And USDT is so used in Asia. You see, Matthew, you talk about TRX earlier on, Tron Network. I can tell you that USDC Tron Network, 99% of people using this, Asia only. Asia only. You go to America, not too much USDT. You're going to find USDC mostly used. All the whale, all the big boys, they don't want to touch USDT. USDC only because they know they can send it to Kraken, they can send it to Circle, they can redeem it. Whereas USDT-ish. You go to Asia, completely opposite. You go to Africa, people are interested in both. In Southern America, what did you see most? I guess USDT in Southern America, I would say, more than USDC.
Tether.
Yeah, Tether, because USDC is really USDC. You know, it's very base for the US. Me, I prefer to hold USDC, and I really, really don't see how you can disrupt USDC
Okay,
ever.
but I have a question for you. Do you know Mark Carney?
Well, you see, I don't. Actually, I am one people away from him. One of our advisors is an ex-politician
I'm just
from
messing,
the
man.
parliament.
It was just
I know, I
hilarious.
know. No, but you see, you don't want to talk. If you want to talk about these stuff, you don't want to talk to Montgomery. What would be the point? There's no point. You want to talk to the central bank governor of Canada. You want to talk with the regulator who makes the rules for securities because it's a stable coin security. You see, before they said yes, then they said no because US backpedal on that and blah blah blah. And like, trust me, I'm used to this type of question, by the way, and I love to get them because people don't necessarily expect us to know how to answer to them, but we've been doing the homework. We went to the event. Like last year, we went to the big event that I talked to. We're the by far the most young people, I would say, like under 35. And you see, everybody was coming to us saying, "Nice, what you're doing is innovative. We want to work with you because Canada is missing that innovation. You guys are hungry. We want to develop with you because in Canada, we have the perfect infrastructure to build stuff, but like you have Shopify and Lightspeed, of course, but you have Neobank, Co, blah, blah, blah. But from an international point of view, we have all the tech to build a unicorn, but a lot of people in Canada are not necessarily interested in going out of Canada. And we're missing the level. I'll tell you something, and then I'm going to shut up. Our flag, when you travel around the world, talk to finance, you talk to, like in Europe, when talking to one of the biggest regulator in the European financial banking system. We went to Africa, talk with bank governor. And these are people very hard to reach, by the way. You can't just reach these people. And you're Canadian, you come with expertise and background in compliance, you come with an understanding of the financial system. How does it work? What are their true challenges with cash related to friction? And trust me, you can get thing going way more than people think just by the fact that you're Canadian. So when people tells me XRP is the answer, I mean, if I had the cash that these guys had for 10 years, where's the tech? Where's the tech? And I will tell you something that one of my big advisors tell me. The people from Ripple, they have more advantage to not develop than to develop. And I'll let you sit on that and you'll be able to understand.
No, I know what he's referring to. I'm assuming you're referring to the fact that, like, I don't know how often it is. What is it, a year and a half that Ripple just releases, like, what, 100 million XRP into the market and just floods it?
Yeah, but the point is that, okay, if you go talk with banks and actually talk with banks, not okay, they're talking with banks. So when you really understand how a bank works, how the compliance people work in a banks, what regulation they need to fit, trust me on this one, it's not tomorrow morning that Ripple is going to come in. Like BMO is never in 100 million years going to support the XRP network. Never, never. Why? And why would they do this? Why? Why? More easy fraud, more easy problem, technology that people don't understand. You have the queue of one-on-one customers saying, "Oh, I don't understand how this works." Blah blah blah. Never, never. If blockchain is to be integrated with bank, because down the line, I really do believe it's gonna happen. It's gonna be for money transfer using stablecoin in the background. Blockchain is a tech that's meant to be used in the background, not as a front-end tech. Like even me, okay, I've been in crypto for 9 years. And I can tell you, every time I do a transfer from my wallet to another wallet, I'm always stressed. When I do a transfer
Oh,
from an exchange, that's a totally other game. But me holding money on a wallet versus holding it into a quote unquote centralized system, totally different ballpark. I'd rather have
do you
100
know how
million a Kraken than
do you know
100
how
million in
far
a wallet.
do you know how far I personally take this in the stress level with moving wallets, money, crypto on wallets? I read the characters.
Me too, man. Me too. I've sent, trust me, across the years, I've sent a few good amount sleeping in the void for somebody using a quantum computer in 50 years to find out. And you know what's funny?
I
The coin I sent in the void are actually XRP. So
I have not actually made a mistake, but the fact is, and I've made I don't know how many transactions on different chains that I've made. It probably in the hundreds, if not like approaching 1,000. I still am like, is it right? And I like quadruple like
mm.
check it a bajillion times, despite the fact that I've done it so I'm not used to it. I am
And
still not used.
you know, since about a year ago, there's a new attack, and this not a lot of people like we don't really know how they do it. What they are able to do is, let's say you do a ERC20 transaction, okay? You go on the Explorer. The Explorer, when you go into the transaction history, it's going to show you like the six first character, then it's going to be dot 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 and the last seven, okay? And these people, they're able to recreate your own address exactly the same except one or two character, like one or two character, and most of the time they
Yeah,
target 0 or L because they don't really look different from like 0 or capital O. and and trust me, you can, it doesn't take long for you to, okay, it's the same address, copy paste, then bye bye, your money's gone.
yeah. So like one of my I would say like a hot wallet. They do a lot of like testnet transactions. I'm sure it's not safe. I wouldn't put $1 of real currency on that. Um, but I have a lot of dust from like that address spoofing that you're talking about, where you just have like everyone sends you like 0.000001 XLM or something like that, and you're just like, okay, and it's just flooded with it. There's like 50 transactions I don't recognize.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. And you see, it's insane. You have no idea the amount of like cheap ass gas fee blockchain they're getting spread like insane. And also,
I think
one of the bad thing regarding this is that not all the Explorer and not all of the wallet, but there's a few wallet out there that I won't name, and a few Explorer specific page that the attacker, they're able to spoof also the asset icon, which is really bad,
yeah.
really really bad. Like I almost got pawned one time for that, and I really, trust me, the only reason I didn't get pawned is because I just forget to do my 2FA, and I I got saved there the other day.
Oh,
I know a few people, but my point behind this is that blockchain as a front end product is never going to be useful for people. Never, never, never. Do you see your grandma buying milk at the store sending USDC? Never. But do you see her do this from a tap of a button? For sure. Like,
yeah.
yes, why not? Why not?
Like I said, with I don't like the app my godson's friend sister uses, but she didn't even know crypto was behind it.
But
I told her,
that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Then that's a
yeah,
good point.
she's the
Yeah.
one that showed me. She's like, you have to send it to me with this app. Like she thought I was sending dollars. I'm like, this is crypto, and she's like,
What,
what?
what
I'm like, yeah,
what's the app?
AirTM.
Can you send it to me after this? I'm curious to
Yeah,
see.
yeah,
But this
yeah.
is
It
one
was
thing
great.
we told people is that whether, like sometimes in a specific design flow that we have, sometimes maybe you say you do X action. Maybe crypto will be involved on Monday, you do the same action on Tuesday, maybe it's not going to be involved. It's all about most efficient money path. That's it. The second the consumer knows is using crypto, except in an obvious situation like bridging asset or whatever, the mission has failed. And like stablecoin is the future of money until somebody invent a new mathematical proof of moving asset. Like stablecoin, what sold me in crypto 8 years ago, stablecoin, 100%. I have a stable asset that I control that has a me. What I like really about blockchain is what I call the guarantee of delivery. When you give me your address, I press send, I know the money will get to you. There's no blocking, no business day opening, T+1 bullshit, blah, blah, blah. The money will
Hmm.
be getting to you. This is so nice because when you think about this on an international scale level, and now I kind of got going in the in all of this talk. But yeah, stablecoin is the future, and it's all about making that easy for people to use, in my opinion.
No, and you left out another problem with the banks is that if you want to make a big purchase, they give you the third degree, and you're just like, I'm sorry, is this not my money we're talking about here?
Yeah.
But yeah, this has been great. We're coming up to the end, so I just want to say a couple more things as a reminder. I believe it's the 11th. We are co-hosting an event that is regarding. Why can't I think of the term right now? Samir, help me out. I'm having a brain fart.
What are we doing? Hosting what?
The
Oh, the prediction market event.
prediction market. I have
Yep.
no idea why I forgot about that word. Thank you. But yeah, on the 11th, we're having the prediction market event. It is
February
at
10th. I'm sorry,
Kraken
just a
Exchange.
correction. February
Oh,
10th.
sorry, 10th. My bad. February 10th. Um, uh, we're learning more about prediction markets. Something that I think it's really cool. So go on and check that out. And we don't have the exact date set. I believe it might be the 19th. So pencil it, not pen. We're going to be having a vibe coding seminar. So don't expect like beer or alcohol at this thing. Bring your computer. If you have an idea that you don't really you don't know how to create, this is the seminar for you, because honestly, AI has gotten so good and the applications that are out there are so incredible that you can create at least a working demo of what's in your head, and you can put it on the screen. But yeah, so keep an eye out for that. And can't thank you enough for joining us this week. Sorry about it getting a little crazy towards the end, but it was at the same time a bit entertaining.
It's in the spirit of Fiat-to-Crypto.
I know, man, me, I like this moment.
Okay,
I
perfect.
absolutely love them, to be honest, because I don't know, they're fun. First of all, you can't really have this chat with like your neighbor as well, so it's fun to be challenged here and there. And crypto is all about like theoretical, like freedom, blah blah blah. So it's okay if people think that Ripple is going to be the solving thing. Perfect, no problem with that.
Well, I
It's
always
okay.
say people can put their money wherever they want, right? It's their money.
Exactly. People do what they want. That's it. That's all. Us, Ezo, we know where we're going. We know the value we bring to customer, and that's it. And if XRP is to be the big thing, then we'll just integrate XRP into our flow. And the real value, I'll tell you, is bringing the product to the consumer. This is the main challenge down the line. No matter what you use, no matter
Exactly.
what you do, it's all about putting this in the hand of your grandma. That's it. That's all. That is the only thing that matters.
Exactly. Because to be honest, blockchain is just back end technology that's currently has face paint as a front end.
Yeah. Stablecoin is the key to everything, man. That's what I really believe.
Yep.
Down to my core.
But yeah, I can't thank you enough. This was an awesome space. We do this every week. So for those listening or who listen to the recordings afterwards, make sure to check us out next week at 2:00 on Thursday. And again, any last words before we sign off?
Yeah, sure. If you want to, it's a good time to buy crypto, I think, right now. But if you want to buy, come to us. We have the lowest rate in Canada by far, most efficient onboarding, and you'll be very surprised. And I don't think you'll ever go elsewhere after that.
Yes, don't think of it as a drop in the price. Think of it as a sale.
Yep.
All right.
Anyway, it
Take
is what
care.
it is. It is what it is. When I started crypto, Bitcoin was at $600, so still a
Oh,
thousand.
so you're not upset.
Well, I'm upset. I'm upset I didn't buy buy all of them back then. But
Oh yeah. No,
these things,
I still have the memory when I was like younger and I just walked up to a Bitcoin ATM and I opened it and it was like $500. That's dumb.
yeah, me too. When we're mining back in the day. We were mining like 50 Ethereum per day, but we're not worth
Oh,
that much, you know. Oh my God, if we had just done like 2 weeks holding for 5 years.
well, I
But
know.
back in the day, it was different. Like people cannot understand. It was just so different.
Of
But yeah,
course.
Matthew, thank you very much for the space. Love to do this again anytime. It
Yes,
was
of
fun.
course. Feel free to come back on if you have some when you want to do maybe a launch event.
Yeah, sure. Perfect.
All right, take care.
Okay, take care, Matthew. Bye bye.